This
meeting.
conference will now be recorded.
So now anybody that missed it can go back and listen to it if they aren't able to make the afternoon session. I'm gonna kind of put together the first half hour is mostly gonna be me talking to you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat window here, right below the attendee box here. I'll take a look at them, and then we're gonna have plenty of time for questions at the end. Um, I don't know that I'll be able to answer all your guys' questions today, but please do ask them because I want to know what you guys want to know. So, future versions of this meeting will be, things that you guys want to learn about and things that I can teach you about how to better kind of market yourself in social media. So, without further ado, this is as I called it, Social Media 101, just to kind of give you guys a little overview of the strategy, the planning, and the execution of what we've been doing with social media, and then the things that maybe I can help you guys with down the line. So here I wanted to show a little snapshot of some of our top performing posts. This has obviously changed over the last couple weeks because we're constantly posting new material. One of the things that was a strategy of ours going into this was to post more and more because we had a little bit too much negative comments on our Facebook page. So we're trying to really boost the positivity around there. If you look at some of these, two of these things are blogs that we posted on our own website, and so we're just sharing that content out to social media. The one in the top left was actually a post from Amy Lonsway that she had posted in our and I don't remember if she posted it on her social media if it was in our FNHW sales group, but I saw this and was like, hey, this is great. Do you mind if I share it and put it on the main page? Just kind of great third-party content because I believe this is actually was from Bank of America. If you see in the lower right-hand corner of the "How long were your house last" post, and so we're trying to look for interesting third-party content because that's part of being on social media. Is it can't always be you trying to sell people. Sometimes you have to let people know what's interesting in your kind of area that other people are talking about as well. And to go on that, also this post here where we were able to help Abigail and Colin, beat the heat. They were having trouble with their AC. They'd actually posted something kind of negative about us, and then so we reached out and got a hold of them, and then they were, put another post up saying that they were able to find, temporary solutions to help their dogs and their family stay out of the heat, and kind of took a negative to a positive. And that's kind of a lot of what we've been doing on the Facebook page is trying to take some of these negative comments and people online and change them around. We actually just had one this week where somebody was commenting like crazy, and we've since gotten a hold of them, put them on our customer relations team's radar, and they've already got a second inspection, and I might be saving them from buying a new fridge, which they thought they were going to have to do. So um, that's usually what I try and highlight when I send you guys our weekly snapshot is things that we're doing like that to try and change the conversation about Fidelity National Home Warranty on social media. So here's the stats. As I've given this presentation, I understand that for some people this will make perfect sense and for others this won't. Don't be afraid if this is a little confusing. One of the things that you read about a lot is reach, which is how many people have actually had the content appear on a screen of theirs, whether it's a laptop or a computer or a phone. So that's usually how often somebody, it's not necessarily means that they didn't see it, though. It just means it appeared on their screen. They could have scrolled past it really fast. What we're looking more for is engagement. So anytime a user has liked, shared, or commented on a post, because it really means that it made an impact enough for them to have stopped, looked at it, read it, and either liked it or shared it with their friends so that more people see it or comment on it, because that's the kind of stuff that will get us to go viral with a post or will really get our views up, because people will see when somebody's talking about something, you're much more likely to comment on something when a friend of yours is commenting. So these are always great for, I know that some of you guys on the call are great about this, making sure that you like our posts or comment or share them. The more that you can do that, the better, because it just gets the word out there. And especially with you sales folks, you have a lot of followers, I'm sure, that actually really love our product and service. So to get our content out in front of those folks where maybe they're giving out more positive comments is always great. And as you can see, with our first 28 days, everything has been very positive. Our page views went up, our actions went up, our previews went up, our page likes went up. Partially that was me inviting everybody on my friends list to like our page, but still every little bit helps. So our reach, our engagements, everything has been trending positively. Obviously, the things have steadied out a little bit since the first 28 days. I mean, I had a low bar to jump considering we only had one post in 2019, but I'm trying to keep that going, and we've had some really good engagement this week from the car convention and our little promotion we were doing down there. We've been tracking all of this through Social Studio as well to give us a good idea of what people are saying about us. Anytime you guys want, if you ever want me to look at, go through any of this, I'd be more than happy to kind of review it with you. As you can see, reviews and Facebook make up for about 45% of our traffic online. Twitter is probably the next thing that we're going to start targeting to create a profile page for, because we are having conversations happen on Twitter that we are unable to respond to right now because we don't have an official page. So I've actually created one already. We're in the process of kind of building it and making sure everything's compliant with images and colors and all of that, and making sure that we have all the correct wording on it. And then once we do that, we will go ahead and launch that. So that'll be our next kind of avenue we go to be able to talk to people. And like I said, change the conversation about what's happening online. So also with the Social Studio, one of the things that's great is we can kind of compare ourselves to the competition. And one of the things that I've liked is that despite us being like third in overall mentions, it really holds true to what we're doing market share wise. So the fact that we have almost as many mentions as First American Home Warranty, and in some cases more positive ones, it's nice seeing that somebody that maybe has a bigger market share than us, we're having a bigger share of the conversations online, and it kind of just lets us know what's going on with other companies, just kind of being able to keep an eye on the competition and what we can do to improve our standings, what we can do, if they're doing anything interesting online that we should know about, anything like that, we're able to keep track of through Social Studio. So what I want to talk to you guys a lot today is about employee advocacy. It's kind of our best social weapon when it comes to social media, because in recent years, especially places like Facebook and Instagram, they've really filtered down what you naturally get from your audience. So in the past, it was kind of a 1-to-1 ratio. If you had 100 followers and you posted something online, it would post to all those 100 followers timelines in the order which it was received. Well, now, because of their algorithm and they're constantly trying to get things in front of you that they think that you will like, they have really ratcheted down what businesses can get organically. They want you to pay for advertising, and so sometimes 10 to 20% of your audience is the best that's going to see any individual post, and of course, like, it's going to put that post in front of people that are more likely to engage with it. So a lot of times you guys will see it and maybe not a customer, because you guys will much more likely to like it or comment on it or share it. And so that's why, getting you guys to actually share these posts and link to our page is very important, because that's how we kind of get more eyeballs on the page. And just to explain this graphic a little bit, is the trends have come in from the social media generation, so to speak, and brand loyalty is at an all-time low because people just research what they buy online. There's so many reviews reviewing everything. They really don't just go like, oh, I'm a Sony person or I'm a Samsung person. They kind of tend to go with what's the hottest tech or what's the hottest thing or what's reviewed the best. Advertising effectiveness is down just because, again, we're in this review culture where there's so much information online that trusting a celebrity to pick out your soda just doesn't really do the trick anymore. Same with brand trust. I mean, people just don't trust the brands like they used to. I believe baby boomers used to be very brand loyal, and now, these younger generations just aren't. And of course, as anybody could probably see with a cell phone, our attention span has gone out the window. So part of that is that consumers have more control now. They can read about other people's experiences. They can go on Amazon and read 500 reviews about that fork they were thinking about buying. So, and they have so many options when it comes to online that they can shop around. It's not just what's at your local store anymore. Content creation, people love creating content, whether it's personal, professional, whatever, people are always taking photos, pictures, putting it online. Uh, Brand choice, people love having choices when it comes to making their products. And media channels, there's the most channels ever. I mean, there's TV, there's radio, all the traditional ones, but meanwhile we have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and there's, whether you want to get into Snapchat or there's always something new around the corner. Part of the reason I think social media is kind of interesting is that you never really have like a break in the action. There's always something new, there's always something to learn. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. So some of the benefits of employee advocacy, like I said, it increases our reach and increases our engagement, increases brand awareness because people are seeing our page linked to your guys' stuff. Anything time you share something and it has our tag there, people can see it, they can click on it, they can go and like our page. It influences the buyer journey. um, One of the things that's interesting is that employees have 5 times more reach than a corporate account. So if we share something and then you guys share it to your audience, it gets 5 times as much kind of juice as it does when we share it. Just because, like I said, those restrictions that Facebook is putting on business. And then, one thing that I noticed or I read that is a Nielsen study showed that 84% of people trust a recommendation from friends, families, colleagues over any other form of marketing. So, kind of getting the word out organically is the most important it's ever been. Um, so I mean, like just by being able to share stuff like this, it increases our lead conversion, it improves our brand perception because people like seeing that you like working for the company that you work for. I mean, I worked for a different insurance company when I was fresh out of school, and I didn't love working there, and so it's not great if somebody sees me posting something online complaining about work. They go, oh, that doesn't make me want to buy that insurance. So when people are kind of out there trumpeting their company, it's kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats. So the company does better. There's more money for raises. You do better. You look more professional when it comes to online. You look like a subject matter expert when it comes to things like that. And so it improves everything for everybody. And like I said, it improves the brand perception, increases the brand trust and confidence people have in us, and it also improves staff retention and attracts new talent. I mean, if you're researching if you're going to go work for a company or not, and you see the employees are sharing Facebook posts about that company, you go, oh, they must like working there. And personally for me, whenever I've been involved in like a marketing campaign, they ask me to do something like, hey, we need everybody to share this status at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. It kind of makes you feel like you're involved in the company more so than other places where they just are spending a ton of money on marketing and don't really use their employees for such things. So future plans. Like I said earlier, Twitter is probably going to be our next platform. It contains most conversations that we're not participating in, and it's probably one of the best social media things for actually getting into people's feeds when you want to get into those feeds. So if you want everybody to see something at 2, it's going to post at 2, and it's going to be it's going to be time stamped on their feed at 2, and it's the one kind of major social media that doesn't have that algorithm that edits who sees your stuff. So that's kind of an important one for us. Review sites are going to be starting to respond to. We're going to start doing that in October. We have not been so far, but we're not going to go back. We're just going to start responding to new reviews. And hopefully, one of the things that I've always prided myself in is being able to take a 1 star and turning it into a 5 star. doesn't happen all the time. Even sometimes when you do fix the problem, they have no desire to go back and change the review. But like I said, if you can get 10 or 20% of those people to change that over, it takes us from being like a 1.5 star on Yelp to being a 3 star, and all of a sudden, our percent, like I said, that improved brand perception just goes through the roof when you're not just having negativity being spewed online. And then LinkedIn is also going to be something that we focus on. We've already kind of been developing content for Facebook and Twitter. It kind of naturally just flows over to LinkedIn. We don't need to share quite as much on there, but anytime we have like a blog or something internally that we produce, good thing to put over there. So, and plus, sharing a little bit about our culture, what it's like to work here, employee events, highlighting that. I think it's always great. Like I said, it helps improve, company perception and just the ability to attract new employees. One of our best performing posts was from a couple weeks ago. It was National IT Professionals Day, and I just bought a box of donuts in for the IT guys, took a picture of it and amongst all the laptops piled around it, and it's probably our second best performing post since we've gotten here. And so I think people like seeing that kind of stuff, like what's your office life like, what's your office culture like. So I think we're going to want to try and do more of that as we go along down the way. And then the other thing is engaging everyone in our pipeline, from you guys to contractors to homeowners. We want to make sure that everybody that's part of our business feels like they are part of our social plan. I want to make sure that you guys know anytime you have a question about something, you can instant message me, you can text me, you can call me, you can email me. Um, I want to be a good resource for you guys. And I'd love to, plan content with you. If you got an idea for something, run it by me. If you want to have somebody edit something, don't be afraid to give me an ask. So, and then there's some other future plans for content. We were thinking about doing some more kind of history of things. So like a little history lesson about Halloween, or the history, like we were talking about, apparently there's a tradition of painting your front door red when you pay off your mortgage. I'd never heard about that before and thought it was really cool. I thought those were people who just wanted bold doors. So, learning a little bit more about home ownership and some of the traditions and things like that. We want to share more content from you guys. So if you have something that you're proud of, let me know. Don't be afraid to forward it over to me. As you saw from that earlier slide, we aren't afraid to share some content from the reps, especially when it's something that's kind of evergreen that can stand up and last for a long time. It's not something that just works for today. It can work for a year from now. So, if there's ever anything, if you're ever on a podcast, if you're ever shot a video that you're really proud of, if you get a picture that you think looks really cool, don't be afraid to email it to me and be like, hey, can we put this on the main page? Because, the more the merrier. I kind of look at this as kind of a collaboration with you guys, because, you're out there actually talking with customers, selling the product. And so, you guys know what people are looking for. And, I value your guys' input with that. Let's see. The other thing is we're looking into doing like short videos, like 30, 90 seconds, little highlights for our blogs. Example, what's covered in your warranty, ways to get your home ready for the end of summer. If you guys have anything that you have any ideas with video wise, please let me know. It's been something we've been kind of going back and forth with, trying to find the right balance of what we are doing currently and how we want to kind of move forward, because video is very important. Just at the car convention this week, we shot a little video, just a little live video showing people at the booth, asking questions, having us give out bags. It was about 20, 30 seconds long, and it was already one of our better performing posts of the year so far. So people like looking at video. It's the future. It's here. So it's something that we really need to focus on for our next kind of step when it comes to creating content. And then last, kind of the social media policy. I just wanted to give you guys a couple little tips here. One thing that's big is avoid brand names or logos and pictures. You know, you want to stand, if you want to stand, you know, have the Remax sign in front of you or next to you, you know, stand in front of it, block it a little bit so that way it's not just the logo by itself next to you. We can't imply that a third party endorses us. So that's one thing that Lorna really wanted me to stress to you guys. But you know, make sure to tag people in a photo, company pages, you know, anything that you can tag, the better. I know some of you are probably like, what's a tag? You know, that's the kind of thing that I would like to, you know, do more of, kind of educating you guys. If you don't know how to tag something or don't know what it is, that's the kind of thing that don't be afraid to speak up because, you know, that's the kind of stuff that helps increase our engagement. You know, rather than just typing in Fidelity National Home Warranty, if you tag us at Home Warranty and put our official page in there, it's much more likely that somebody will click through, find our page, find our website, maybe buy something, as opposed to just putting like a hashtag that doesn't go anywhere, or not tagging us because, you know, you're worried about negative perceptions. It's like, well, that the way we're going to get those perceptions changed and get more positive feedback on the page is by directing people to the page. We can't be afraid of it. So um, let's see. Be mindful of copyright infringement laws. They are confusing, to say the least, when it comes to social media because people are always sharing memes and GIFs. And so if you're ever unsure about something, don't be afraid to ask. I know I have plenty of contacts that I have gone back and forth with to ask about things that we've shared. You know, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, like, can I share this picture of this? Can I share this little video? If you're ever not sure, don't be afraid to ask. Uh, and then just be mindful of the UDAP, unfair, deceptive, abusive acts of practice. We are subjective to it because we're a financial institution. And then third-party content. You guys heard me talk a little bit about third-party content. I think that sometimes people don't realize how important that is to follow other sources. Like, you know, say that you want to be a good source for homeowners out there. Well, then you know, you should follow stuff that a homeowner would be interested in too. And so, like, one of the things you'll see us sometimes share something from like Apartment Therapy or House or something like that. And it's just because you can't always be directing people to your own stuff. Sometimes you just have to be a good source for content. But one thing that's really important is to always give credit or consent, or get consent from somebody when sharing it. If they tell you it's okay, then you're good to go. If you're not sure, you know, give them credit. Say, I found this in the New York Times. I found this in the San Francisco Chronicle. You know, just wanted to share it with you guys, and so that way you have your bases covered. Um, After this meeting, I'm going to be sending everybody a copy of the actual company social media policy. It's got a lot of pretty common sense stuff, but I still suggest you guys all read it over. It's good to know and keep updated with it. And, you know, just want to make sure that we're all following the guidelines that are set through from Fidelity. And the other thing is, you know, one thing that I would advise you guys is that, especially now, anytime something controversial happens, that's when I'm always over at my desk shaking my head because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to read it. Stay away from anything controversial if you're just trying to put out that positive business vibe for your page. Um, you know, treat it like a bar. They say don't talk religion or politics in the bar. Keep it off social media too, because all it does is get fired. People fire it up, people choose a side, and the last thing you want to do is be dividing your audience. What you really want to be doing is bringing people together under kind of the joint need of a home warranty. So, you know, that's just, it's kind of that third rail thing. And especially the internet is all about putting stuff out there that will get you enraged and get you commenting and get you fired up. And so, you know, you might end up starting a war over something that wasn't even true from a meme. And, you know, all it did was alienate half your audience. So, you know, probably just a good thing. You know, there's been plenty of times where I've had something typed out in a comment section and highlighted it and deleted it because I was like, you know what? Just don't wade into it. It's just, it's not worth it. You know, this isn't, you know, this isn't like the place, the time or the place, especially if you're using your social profiles for, you know, business purposes. Like I said, it's just better to say neutral than it is to, you know, get your hot take out there. And that's coming from a very opinionated guy that loves giving his hot takes. It's easier said than done sometimes. So, um, Well, we're right about the halfway mark, and that's when I wanted to open it up for questions for you guys. So, um, anybody have any questions? Did I talk too fast? Um, is there anything that I can answer? A couple of people seem to ask if they could be made the presenter. I'm not sure why. Those are the only questions I have in the chat. So I want to go ahead and open up to the floor. Does anybody here have any questions? Oh, nobody? I was expecting a mass onslaught of questions here, guys.
Do you follow? Hi, this is Laurel Adam.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you follow any of us on social media? I mean, on like Facebook?
Well, some of you guys I have friended. I will probably try and do more of that after we get off the meetings here today. Now that I've seen, one thing that always helps is I will send you guys out my email address I use for Facebook because there's obviously more than one Samuel Adams, so sometimes I can be hard to find. But I'll send you out my personal email address so you can search it on there. And if you want to friend me, please do. And then that way we can follow each other. I'll be able to see on my feed when you guys post stuff. And, like I said, that way if I ever see something that looks interesting and want to share, I can ping you and just ask you, hey, is it okay if I share this? Um, yeah, so but yeah, I have the more of sales people I've met, the more Facebook friends I have acquired lately, and I assume that after today I will get a lot more too. And please bring it on because like I said, I relish the opportunity to give you guys any pointers or any answer any questions
Well,
you guys might have.
specifically, my question would be if you do follow us or some of us, um, and you see our posts, would you give us feedback as to, because this is your focus, as to if we've done something that maybe we need to correct, or if we um, if you like this content or think this is a good way to go, just that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah. No, I actually have done a little bit of that. I know that there was somebody I was bugging because they were using a hashtag of Fidelity National Home Warranty, and I was kind of imploring them to rather than do that, because just for some people that maybe aren't sure the difference between a hashtag and tagging somebody, a hashtag is just kind of a topic. So, like a lot of times you'll see like hashtag National Cheeseburger Day because that's just what's going on that day, and people are posting pictures of their cheeseburgers or whatever. But tagging somebody, it tags their actual page so that if you click on it, rather than going and seeing what everybody else is saying about that topic, it takes you to the actual main page. So yeah, like I was kind of stressing this person, rather than putting a hashtag Fidelity National Home Warranty as a tag our page, and then that way anybody that sees it that clicks on it will go through to our page. So yeah, totally something that I'm more than happy to do. Like when I see it, it just kind of jumps out at me, and I have no problem just shooting a quick email and be like, hey, I saw you did this. Thanks for posting about us. Here's something that I think that we could do to make it pop a little bit more. Here's something I think we can help expand the reach. So yeah, that's totally something that I'm trying to do more of. And like I said, the more people I follow, the more I'll be able to reach out to you guys if I see anything that I think will help.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Dan.
Hello.
Hey, Sam. As far as tagging our page, that would be just like tagging a person, right? You just start typing it in until that comes up and click on it.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? I actually have an even better shortcut because I used to do the same thing where I'd get so annoyed that I couldn't tag my friend, and I'd be like, keep typing in Mario, and it's like, why is his name not popping up? So the easier way to do that, so that Facebook knows you're trying to tag something, is to
Uh-huh.
actually type the at symbol and then type their name, and usually it will give you a little drop down list of people that it might fit. And for us, it's really easy because our Facebook page is just at home warranty. So if you type in at home warranty, all one, no spaces
All
or
right.
anything. Now sometimes it'll give you a drop down of 2 or 3 options. You just click the one with our logo. Obviously, it says
Okay.
Fidelity National Home Warranty.
Because I am
Yeah,
guilty of
and
doing a
that's
bunch of hashtags, so I'll stop doing that.
yeah, no, and that's the thing is don't be afraid to use a hashtag. Although, depending on the platform, it can limit your viewers. So sometimes like Facebook might limit who sees it, whereas like Twitter and Instagram, you more because like I know on both of those, I actually follow certain hashtags rather than people because it's just interesting to follow. And so, even though we use them on Facebook as well, sometimes that can limit your audience a little bit, especially if you're using a lot of them. Like usually you want to limit it to 1 or 2 hashtags that are really relevant to what you're doing.
And I just usually use it to say something like that that I don't know how to just type in without looking stupid. Like I'll put hashtag Fidelity Home Warranty, hashtag when you want the best.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Where
just do
you don't
that
want to
because
sound like you don't want to sound like you're putting in a tagline type of thing. So no,
right, because
that's a
I
good
don't know why
example.
I feel like doing a hashtag is a buffer of me just typing out Fidelity Home Warranty when you want the best, right? I don't know why
Yeah,
I feel like
I
that's
kind of
like
like it. I like your style though. It's just because it's like that's a good like sometimes it's a good way to put like some humor into your post too. If you want to put
right
like
without being
hashtag
like
Wednesday everybody, kind of thing like that, or
right.
what
So that's
things like
usually
that
what
too.
I do is like I posted a flyer, the R22 flyer this morning, and
Hmm.
I typed in information is power, and then I put hashtag keeping you informed.
Yeah, like I think that's a good one. And it always helps to look and see what's trending too. If you're curious about using hashtags, um,
Hmm.
I know Twitter puts it right on front. Not it's not always as easy to find, but it's you can usually a quick Google search and you can find out what's kind of trending online right now. Even though they have they have come out and said that sometimes Twitter will influence that. So good old social media. Not everything is on the up and
Okay.
up.
And totally lame
Um,
because I don't use Twitter or I've tried Instagram. I can't figure it out. I'm so not good at this stuff that I just do the Facebook. I have a colleague that's trying to teach me how to use my story because she
mhm.
says that is better than just posting.
Yeah,
Do you have,
and it's
do you have
kind of
any
a
thoughts
personal
on that?
preference thing. Yeah, because we actually posted something to our story, like I was talking about on um, the at the car convention this week, and it actually did really good. Let me pull up the stats while I got you guys on the phone here. I'll tell you exactly how well it did.
I guess she said the reason that's a little better for us is because you can actually see who's viewed it.
Oh yeah. It depends on the like. Yeah, because I'm a little bit new to live videos as well myself, but like we posted a video Wednesday, and like I said, it was just a 20-second video of me showing what was going on, and it got over 450 views. Its engagement was really high. It was one of our better performing posts over the last couple weeks. I'd say it's in the top 20%, and it really was it was a nothing video. It was just me going live for 20 seconds and putting. But people really do enjoy those. Like same with like Instagram stories is kind of the same thing where rather than posting a picture or a video on your actual page, you're posting it to your quote unquote story or going live, and it's just showing it for like a 24-hour period. Now, I'm not a huge fan of them just personally in my regular life, just because usually if I'm going to go through the effort of posting something on social media, I want it there. I want it to stay there. I want to be able to show people later, be like, oh, did you see that thing I posted here? Here it is. Whereas opposed to like a live video or an Instagram story, it disappears after 24 hours. Now, but it's also a good way to just kind of put up throwaway content where you're like, hey, look at, I don't want this living on my page all the time, but I'm going to send this little video of me having coffee with this other sales rep and tag each other and kind of explain what's going on, or just show people, kind of highlight what my day is all about, type of thing. And so I think it's good for stuff like that. That's kind of what we used it for on Wednesday, was just to be like, hey, look at, we're live, we're at this conference, we're here right now, come check us out, anybody that's around that might be attending. So and it did really well for that. So yeah, I think that's one of those things that Facebook Live And I'm writing some of these down because I want to be able to go to I want to be able to take some of your guys' questions that we have here today and in the PM session and structure future meetings around kind of teaching you guys about this stuff.
Well,
So
I got an idea for a future meeting.
yes, please do.
Some of us don't even know all the abilities of Facebook. Like I didn't even know what a hashtag was, and I still kind of don't know. Are you ever going to have just uh, how to use Facebook and some of the tools that it has to some of us
Yeah.
that don't know?
No, yeah, absolutely. So why don't I do that? Why don't I maybe set up one for Facebook, one for Twitter, one for Instagram? If they're a little bit shorter, maybe I'll merge two of them together to where we can
That
do
would be
both.
fantastic.
Yeah, and I can kind of just go through and show you guys like here's how you post a picture, here's how you post a video, here's how you post, just kind of things like if there maybe even I'll give you guys a like a heads up, like maybe the first one we should probably go ahead and do Facebook, since that's the one everyone seems to
Yeah.
be most kind of familiar with and is using already. So maybe that'll be the first one, and then I'll go into maybe Twitter and Instagram down the line once we have our own profiles on there, and anybody that wants to kind of follow along, we can do it together type of thing.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
idea,
So
Kevin.
yeah, no, that's great because yeah, like I said, I've given this presentation a couple of times, and then I've also kind of come to realize the skill set is varied between everybody. Some people are, I was kind of fortunate in that social media came out when I was in college, and so it's been something that's just been kind of ingrained in my day-to-day, life and technology ever since. Whereas like, if something new came out now, I'm 36, I might not pay as close of attention to it. So it's a little, it's a little easier for me since it's kind of second nature. And
Right.
like I said, I'm more than willing to go through it. And anybody that wants to ever, if you don't think that you have a question that's worth a whole class, I don't mind getting on a call and going over and showing you how to do stuff. Like I said, I want to be a resource for you guys. So yeah, maybe that'll be our next one is how to Facebook, and I'll go through and just kind of do maybe just kind of tutorialize like how to post a video, how to post a live video, maybe even do some work on my phone so you guys can see what it looks like on mobile versus doing it on your desktop like we're doing right now.
I'm
That would be
wondering,
awesome.
when I look at our page on Facebook, we've got people that make pretty disparaging comments about us. Don't we have the ability to not allow that?
So yes, no, now this is something we've talked about in the FNHW sales page, is that people were talking about disallowing comments. Part of the problem with that is if we do that, then we kind of disincentivize anybody to ever engage with us. And without engagement, we're just basically advertising to people. If you go through and see what the comments have looked like since July when I started, you'll notice that every comment gets responded to and asked to be taken offline. We've had about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of those have actually been either deleted or changed because we were able to fix the person's problem with the service. And then some people that, if you knew how many were actually up there, you'd be surprised because I hide a lot of comments as well. Because sometimes, like we had a customer this week that was frustrated about their refrigerator going down. They'd been without a refrigerator for about a week, and they sent us a message at about 6 o'clock on Tuesday, and I made the mistake of being like, well, there's nothing the customer relations team can do today anyways. I'll respond to it tomorrow when they have time to review it. Well, this person went and blew us up and left like 15 comments on different posts going back. I was like, did you try and find every piece of content I've written since I got here to write a comment on? Thanks, buddy. And I had to go through and hide a bunch of them. And the thing that's nice about hiding comments is that the person who wrote it still sees it when they go to our page. It still looks like it's on the page for people to read, but nobody else can see it. And I know that there's still some negative ones out there, but I want people to see that when they come to our page and they write something, that they actually do get a response. I don't want them to think it's a
Well, a
black
lot of times,
hole.
though, when they make the negative comments, you can't see it unless you view. If someone's just scrolling through, they have to view the additional comments by clicking on view 1 or 2 or 3 more comments. And if they don't do that, I don't know if it's possible to reply right under their comment so that it shows instead of like write a comment? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I know what you mean because like I know when I go to the comments page, sometimes it says most recent, most relevant, most, it actually will
Yeah.
sort them by that. And we're kind of at the mercy of how people have their preferences set up when it comes to that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm always commenting directly underneath their thing as a reply. I'm tagging
Okay.
them in the reply so that they see it. So it's not just that they don't just get a notification being like somebody commented on a page you're following or something. It actually says so and so mentioned you in a comment, so they can go through and click through to it and see, oh, Fidelity said that they want to take a look at my case, and then if I send them a private message, that we can review it. And then usually I don't just respond there. I also say, I will say, hey, if you send us a private message, let's chat through. And then the next thing I do is send them a private message so that they don't even have a chance to send it to us, that they already know. They already have a chat set up with us. So that way, all they have to do is send us their covered address or their work order number or whatever, and then we can hop in on an email and start getting things figured out. So, yeah, I mean, granted, I wish I could go on there and comment again after we, fix someone's refrigerator. Like, oh my God, I'm so happy we got everything fixed for you. Is there anything else we can do? And have everybody see that publicly. But, that's when we start getting into privacy laws and what we can disclose about,
Yeah.
somebody's insurance
Right.
policy. So, one of the things that I've noticed that our customer relations team does do a lot is they'll kind of bring up like, oh, good, I'm glad we got everything fixed for you. Is there any way you can go amend your comment? And so, like I said, it only happens, 10% of the time that somebody actually agrees to and does it, but we are starting to see that positive, influence as opposed to where, when I first got here, it was just a bunch of negativity. And we've gone back, anything older than this year, we've hid all the comments from and deleted. So, you can only see the newer ones, and all the newer ones have responses from me on there. So, and we're seeing less too. I mean, if you look and see how many like negative comments we got on our one piece of content from back in January, it was a ton. Whereas like now we're posting so often that maybe one piece of content gets one comment or two, and a lot of times when it gets to the second one, it's because somebody just go and comment on 10 things and reply to everybody and be like, yeah, they're the worst. And by the time anybody can read them, I've already gone through and hit them, because as far as I'm concerned, anybody that decides to comment on our page more than like 3 or 4 times in a half an hour, I consider that spamminess. So I just go through and hide everything and then try and take it offline to the messages to where they can talk to us directly and not have everything be so public.
Because people will post their negative feelings a lot faster and a lot more than anything positive they have,
Oh,
or kind of just
100%.
average.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to be a pretty avid Yelp reviewer, and I'll admit the bad reviews were more fun to write because we had more ammo of funny things to talk about. And so, it's just like I talked about when staying off that third rail when it comes to politics or religion, it's kind of that same thing, is that you're so much more likely to talk about something when you're mad or to fire somebody up, as opposed to being like, oh, hey, I called the insurance company and they fixed my thing and it only took 3 days. Like, great, that's the way it should work. You just kind of go about your day. And so I think that's another thing, is that why, I talk about you guys sharing stuff, is that, anytime that you maybe have somebody that has a positive experience, don't be afraid to ask them to write us a Yelp review or a Google review, or to say, like, hey, make sure to follow us on our page because we have great, tips about keeping up your home or maintaining stuff so your warranty is still good, or so whatever that is, the more kind of we can spread the positivity around, the better. That's one of the reasons why I stress about like tagging our page, is because the more that we kind of direct people to our page that do have a good experience with us, the more people that we might get to comment on our content, saying like, hey, you guys fixed my AC last week, thanks a lot. That's kind of where we're trying to get more of that and less of the hey, you guys are stealing from me. I'm calling the Better Business Bureau, yada 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 type of thing. Which it's a shame, because it's like, we're an insurance company, so we're going to be a target. I mean, it's just when it comes to online stuff, people go on there, they get angry, and everybody thinks the insurance company is evil. It's just like ingrained in America. It feels like so. You know, so as soon as somebody gets a result that they're not happy with, they're automatically going to blame us. So it's just kind of like this is the business we chose type of thing. So it's going to be there's going to be some of that, but what the goal is to try and balance it out with some of those positive experiences we are able to create. So.
Actually, we're not an insurance company.
Oh, yes, true warranty. Well, I would say the average person doesn't know the difference, but yeah, you're 100% right.
Mm.
All right. Any other questions? So, and I see Lisa V said something about not knowing how to tag our page. Like I said earlier, you know, tagging is just something where you type the @ symbol and then you start typing, you know, no spaces. You start typing either the name of the business or the name of the person that you want to tag, and it should give you an easy drop down. So you make sure you choose the correct one. And again, that's something that I will make sure to go over in our How to Facebook next meeting, which we'll probably have in, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, something like that. Whatever works for you guys. I figure maybe once a month we can meet up like this, and I'll you know have a little something for you guys to help try and make you a little more social savvy.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe an idea would be to have an example for us to look at. That would be, this is a great post and good job, and this is not such a good idea, you know?
Okay,
Just
and
so
yeah,
we
I'll try not to call anybody out for the bad post ones. I'll try and find other stuff, but yeah, and maybe even just other stuff like you know,
Well, it
kind of
doesn't have to
educating
be
you guys.
anybody in the company.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. I was like, I'll choose some other company for the bad ones, I promise. But I also want to make sure I give you guys a shout out when you do post something good. You know, that's part of the reason why I want to make sure that you guys know that hey, we're 100% on board with sharing your content on the main page if it fits, you know, what we're trying to do. And I see that a few of you have already Facebook friend requested me, so thank you for that. So. Okay, cool. Well then, any other final questions here before I give you guys a little time back? Or
Thank you very
going
much.
once, going
Great
twice?
job, Sam. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I will probably, I'll maybe even reach out to a few of you individually just to see, you know, kind of what you're working on and what other things, you know, I even plan on doing some stuff like what's the difference between a meme and a GIF, and I wonder what percentage of people here know the difference between that, you know, so it's just little things like that that might be able to help you out, be a little more, you know, internet savvy and kind of know what you want to use for what type of situation when it comes to creating content. So.
Super.
Great. Well, time is valuable, so I'll give all you guys 10 minutes of your day back. Anybody that was needed to go to the bathroom, please feel free.
Thanks, bye.
All
Thanks,
right, thanks
Adam.
everybody.
Thank you.